This is my video for assignment 6, question 4, to send numerical numbers, specifically the duration a button is held, to the serial monitor. So here's my wiring. I have the button connected into A1, and this is my wiring for it. And now to my code. So this is the function that I'm using to initialize the UART and all of its settings. This is the function here that I'm initializing the button to make sure it is a pull down, and it's an input, and then all the other settings. This is my timer configuration. I'm using a prescaler of 3999 so that my clock is 1 kilohertz, so that I'm able to time the amount of milliseconds that the button is held, since I felt like milliseconds was the most appropriate for this. And here I'm using a UART transmit function that's different than the one that was given to us. This one specifically works best when with strings, since it'll send every character one by one instead of you having to do every single character have its own function call. And then this is my main. I'm initializing all of the UART, the button, and the delay. And then here I'm using a polling approach to, I'm checking if the button is pressed, and then if it is, I'm grabbing the initial count for the timer. And then while it is pressed, I'm having a hanging loop. And then once it's finished pressing, it'll once it's released, it'll continue on, and I'll get the end count, and then I'll get the difference. And then I'm using this function sprintf to easily move the string along with the integer value into a buffer, and then I'm transmitting that entire buffer string. And since I'm using sprintf, the actual translation of integer into like character is automatically done for me. So I don't need to use the recommended approach that was in the assignment, but for the sake of the assignment, I can explain how it works. So what it does is it grabs the integer value and then keeps dividing it by 10 and grabbing the remainder every time it divides by 10. And then what it does from there is it looks at that remainder, and then it it checks which integer it is, and then it assigns the character that goes along with that integer. So if you had like 104 and you divided by 10, you would get a remainder of 4. And then so it gets the ASCII number for 4 so that it could add it into the string. And then here is the actual thing working. See, if I just click it quick, it's a very quick timer. And then if I hold it down and release, see, it was held there for about 2.5 seconds. And if I do it again, there, we do one more time, press, and release. So that was about 5 seconds there. Thank you.